And again, right up and explosive. I felt like he could keep moving.
I could totally beat that wall.
Yeah, but you'll never beat the salmon ladder.
Or the globe grabber.
Yeah, you're muff cabbage.
What's up, nerds? No guac? No football?
Why are you so small?
Why are you so bald? I'm preparing for the draft, so I made myself small. And when I'm small, I have superhuman knowledge and beer drinking abilities.
Well, that doesn't sound fair.
Well, maybe you should be watching football. It is fantasy football season after all.
I'm CJ Orsini, and welcome to Score Center. We have a great show lined up for you today. Let's first start with a story about one of the league's most iconic members, Drew Dexter. Drew has struggled mightily in recent years. Between poor draft choices, binge drinking, and terrible trades, people have begun to wonder whether we're witnessing the end of a career. However, this offseason, Drew went on a much-needed spiritual quest in hopes of restoring fantasy football success. Our reporter, Karen Andrews, caught up with him after his trip to Asia.
Do you want a chair?
No thanks. I'm building my internal energy and inducing an altered state of consciousness.
What did you hope to find on your trip?
Just like my spiritual center, you know?
Some photos have surfaced online and it looks like all you did was party.
I was just discovering my meaning and purpose in life through self-exploration.
And how is this going to help you with fantasy football?
It's all about letting nature's energy guide you. The universe will show me the way to fantasy football success this season.
Yeah, good luck with that, Drew. Next, let's move on and take an inside look at the Terrible Tollies training camp, where last season's points champ, Joe Indolina, is preparing for the upcoming draft.
The Mancho draft is wild. You gotta be prepared for anything. Someone can throw you a beer at any moment. Catching beer is all about instincts. You don't catch with your eyes. You catch with your heart.
Left. Right. Left. Chug.
Now I'm ready for the draft.
Well, that is quite the training regimen for Joe. But even for experienced league members, like three-time Super Bowl champion CJ Orsini, preparing for the draft can be difficult. Let's take a look.
What's the problem?
I'm trying to make a draft list of players who haven't been arrested and don't have character issues.
Well, obviously you're not going to pick AP or Jameis Winston. There's got to be plenty of clean-cut guys out there.
28 players have been arrested so far this year. I can't risk drafting someone who might get arrested. My team has morals. We're not the Chicago Bears.
The Chicago Bears decided to give defensive end Ray McDonald a second chance, but on Monday morning, the Bears found out that that was a decision they would regret. The Bears released McDonald on Monday after he was arrested for the third time in 1 year. McDonald allegedly assaulted the victim while she was holding a baby.
Okay, what about Le'Veon Bell?
Drugs.
Dez Bryant?
Doesn't pay for jewelry.
Cam Newton?
Theft.
Wes Welker?
Molly.
Cowboys defense?
Domestic violence. Drugs. Assault.
Okay. Peyton Manning?
Nope. Sexual misconduct.
Wow, I had no idea. Who's on your draft list?
A bunch of kickers, and Rob Gronkowski. He is surprisingly the cleanest player in the league.
All the fundraising for the kids. All the kids, everyone doing a great job. All the behind the scenes that I do. These sure aren't deflating. These are only inflating. There's only one thing you can deflate. These nuts!
The big offseason story was, of course, Deflategate. Super Bowl champions Raider Nation had its owner Phil DeLeon accused of deflating beer below league-mandated alcohol by volume standards at the draft. Some league members maintained this gave Phil a competitive advantage.
I picked up what I thought was my beer at the draft, but it tasted light as hell. That wasn't my beer. I realized I had intercepted Phil's beer by mistake and something wasn't right. I immediately told the commissioner. After the draft, it was brought to my attention that Phil DeLeon may have been drinking beer below Man-Show League ABV standards. I've hired an independent commission to investigate the matter. The commission is headed by Matt Smith, world-famous attorney. Yes, Matt is my neighbor and good friend, but I can assure you this investigation will be completely independent, fair, and balanced.
Reaction around the league is mixed.
I don't think it affected the outcome of the league. I think he should get a slap on the wrist. I mean, the conference championship game wasn't even close.
Phil cheated, plain and simple. He should be deported to Qatar and forced to be a migrant worker.
Now, we'll just have to wait 6 to 8 months for the commissioner's ruling. In the meantime, let's watch Scott Cannon's post-game press conference that occurred just minutes after he allowed Phil to win the Super Bowl last season. Damn it, Cannon.
Go ahead.
Scott, can you talk about the decision to bench Eli Manning in favor of RG3, who he just claimed off of waivers?
You play to win the game. That costs you the game, though. You play to win the game.
Scott, how does it feel to lose to Phil?
They are who we thought they were. Scott, how do you plan to improve next season? Practice? We talking about practice? I mean, are we talking about practice right now?
Scott, nobody's talking about practice.
You play to win the game.
Hi, I'm Drew Dexter, and I'm in the Man Show. And I'm Green Bay Packers fan Drew Dexter. I don't play fantasy football, I just cheer on the Pack. Only fantasy football can provide the engaging entertainment you need on NFL Sundays. As a Packers fan, I don't watch other teams, so I fill the empty void in my life with cheese balls and Milwaukee's best. I can relax on the weekends and watch any game I want. I put the sausage in a block of cheese. I call it a chia-sage. This me paid $500 for a worthless piece of paper. I'm a shareholder. Don't be like this, me. Join the Man Show. The draft status of Steve Newman is in question after he is rumored to have injured his hand on the 4th of July while attempting to light fireworks and forward a funny group text message at the same time. Adam Schefter is tweeting out personal medical records again, and we now have a photo of Steve Newman's injured hand. Wow, that is gruesome. Breaking news. Independent investigator Matt Smith has just released his findings in the Smith Report.
After an extensive investigation, my legal team has determined, more probably true than not, that fantasy team owner Phil DeLeon, owner of Raider Nation, deflated his beer 1% ABV below Man Show standards.
Based on the findings of the Smith Report, which only cost the league $12 million, I've decided to strip Phil of a second-round draft pick in this year's draft and ban him from watching NFL Sunday Ticket for 4 weeks.
Harsh punishment for the commissioner. Unfortunately, Phil is not available for comment because nobody else in the league speaks Spanish. Now, a word from our sponsor. This is the feeling of turning a game you love into a lifetime full of cash. FantasyDuel.com, the only daily fantasy league out there.
I won $8 billion on Fantasy Duel last year, and you can too.
Playing is easy. You pick a player and earn points based on how well their fantasy team plays.
Word of advice, never pick Brian Boland.
It's such a great deal. You get to keep 80% of the money wagered, and the site only keeps 20%.
Have a gambling problem? Don't worry, this is totally not gambling. It's a game of skill, which means it's perfectly legal.
Except for Arizona, Alabama, Idaho, and Montana. But who really cares about those states?
Play now and get a 200% deposit bonus. Pay down in increments of $1 for every $1,000 wagered. FantasyDuel.com.
You have Capri Sun and Coke Zero, but no beer?
My bad, I haven't had much time for a beer run.
Yeah, so nothing goes together like Capri Suns and football.
I want beer, I just haven't had time.
Well, I do like the string cheese, but let me hook you up.
Wow, thanks, Commissioner. You're a lifesaver.
Welcome back. Now it's time to review the 2014 season. Roll the highlights.
Regulators select Peyton Manning.
Tenth pick, Marius Thomas.
Never looking back with my foot up on the gas. Ain't got no time to react. I'll be living in the left lane.
Eddie Lacy! Wow!
I'm in love with the coco. I'm in love with the coco. I got it for the Lord.
Alright, with the second pick, I select Matt Forte.
With the first pick, Pimp Juice selects Adrian Peterson.
Wow. Another scandal for the National Football League breaking overnight. One of its brightest stars has been charged with child abuse.
First pick for pneumonia. 2014 draft. Bryant.
Bitch better have my money. Y'all should know me well enough. Bitch better have my money. Please don't call me on my blood. Pay me what you want it.
The seventh pick, I'm gonna pick Marshall.
I'm gonna go with Julio Jones.
Real bad man, we will kill all your swag.
The fifth pick, Calvin Johnson. Lick my roll pump selects Rashawn McCoy. Pick in the draft, I'm gonna go AJ Green.
I didn't, have any, I didn't alter the ball in any way. I don't want anyone touching the balls after that. I don't want anyone rubbing them. To me, those balls are perfect.
What a great season. We might as well also take a look at Joe's acceptance speech at the start of last year's draft.
I would like to thank everybody in the league for letting me deserve this championship. It was a hard-fought year, except for the playoffs, which wasn't much a challenge. But yeah, I definitely deserve this honor and the privilege of winning this league. I know it's not many of you have won, and it's a great feeling. Maybe one day, if you learn how to draft and play correctly, you'll have something to show for it. But until then, I'll gladly keep accepting your money year to year.
Well, that about wraps things up for ScoreCenter today. The always humble commissioner is standing by and ready to address the league.
Good afternoon, Man Show League participants. It has been said that in the NFL, it is a copycat league, where mediocre teams sometimes emulate the past success of Super Bowl winners. Well, Man Show, I've decided to take the NFL's cue.
And that's why I've decided to copy the style of Joe and Alina. I've got Chris and Scott here for their thoughts on this year's draft. Hey, who do you guys think are possible sleepers this year?
I think Adrian Peterson.
Oh, that's really brilliant.
How's it feel knowing you're competing for second place this year?
I think I have a strong shot at winning.
That's cute, really optimistic. What kind of beer will you be drinking at the draft this year?
Well, I was...
Hey, hold that thought. Man Show 2015.
Let's start the draft.
Oh, we're going to give awards to everybody today. And with a pink ribbon, who else? Pneumonia. Last place award, Scott Gannon. I'm going to go with my participant.
You don't want to forget one of our best long-term members of the league. You know, he doesn't often win or make the playoffs. He's always here on draft day. We have a participation award for Brian Muller. Football champion, and oddly enough, the rivet is brown. Drew Dexter. Nice.
St. Louis ran me in the butts.
I go Seahawks. That's really good to go Seahawks. Oh, you're doing what? Come on, Calvin Benjamin. What the fuck? That makes my night. Well, he's volunteered. He's going to do the Golden Shower Challenge. Alright, and our Super Bowl champion. It pains me to do this, but it's Joe Andolina.
Special forces are in full flight. We're coming by air and on the ground. Monday Night Football's taking over the town. We gotta get ready. We gotta get right. It's gonna be a battle in the NFL tonight.